This ain't the black boy, what you gonna do out here on your own? This ain't the black boy, don't you know everything, don't want you grown. This ain't the black boy, what you gonna do when you're trying to get old? This ain't the black boy, this is a story that ain't never told. This ain't the black boy, what you gonna do out here on your own? This ain't the black boy, don't you know everything, don't want you grown. This ain't the black boy, what you gonna do when you're trying to get old? This ain't the black boy, this is a story that ain't never told.
All right. So welcome to Black Salesman Talk. First one in 2022. We got Lateef McLeod, Keith Jones, and myself. And before we go on, Leroy noticed the title. This is gonna be the last Black Men Talk on YouTube. We're gonna move it to the channel. I'm not we can get started there, but yeah, this Black Men Talk, Black Salesman Talk. It's gonna talk about the new year, what's coming down for each of us, what's coming down in our community, what do we want to see, and all that. So, Keith, let's talk about the channel.
No, of course. What's up, people? Hello, Lateef. How you doing? What's up, Leroy? How you doing? Shout out to my man Otis. And again, thank you all for joining us as we have this talk. So the things that we think about are what we're going into the new year. So the channel. So we have been working on this like literally for like the last 2.5 years. Excuse me. So the channel is basically a vision quest of being able to house everything that we've been talking about, everything we've created, everything that we want to see in entertainment policy, public life, like it will be able to house on our new streaming service that we will be rolling out in probably about 2.5 months. It is not going to be a Netflix. It is not Hulu. It's the channel. It is us. It is by us, powered by us, for us, and whatever. And when people go, "Oh my God," so it's like only Black people with disabilities now. It is truly the embodiment of the philosophy that has driven not only my work, Lateef's work, your work, Leroy, Otis's work. Because what's the goal of having, well, like, why are we fighting for quote racial equity and inclusion if we only want to like reverse the racism and reverse the power dynamic? So the goal is to be able to put up a channel that we can like, there's like, "Oh my God, there's no Black people in your movie. Oh my God, there's no like disabled people in your show." All right, well, fine, fuck it, we gonna do that. So that's where we are. We're at the place where from myself, and I think Leroy, and I'll share this with you, I'm no longer at the place where I want to ask people to be included in the stuff that they're already doing. I'm not begging anybody to be at their table. I'm gonna build my own. I'm not asking anybody for their food. I'm gonna go get my own. I'm not asking anybody to help me not be thirsty. I'm gonna find my own water. And so the drive behind the channel is really to give the 1.5 billion people on the planet an authentic place to look and see themselves, whether they're in Africa, Brazil, Oakland, San Francisco, St. Louis, New Jersey, India, France, wherever it is, you can turn on this channel, hopefully, not hopefully, but ultimately, and see something where you can see yourself reflected. And we ain't got a whole lot of money, but we got a whole lot of passion. We got a whole lot of content. So the goal is to roll it out. It's going to be $4.99 a month. You can either do a month-to-month subscription at $5, or you can do an upfront 1 year $60 payment that'll give you access to the channel. And then the side pieces, that the things that will be placed on the channel, you can then go and purchase and download for your own personal collection. So whatever we create and put up on the channel, there will be two forms of revenue. You can stream it or you can purchase it. And this is to give disabled entrepreneurs, parents with kids with disabilities, loved ones with people with disabilities. This is the chance to, see yourself actually reflected in pop culture, news, real stuff, not like, oh my God, Lateef, it's amazing that you're going to school and getting a PhD, and let's do a puff piece and be like, and despite all of his challenges, right? Like, no, this is like, no, that's not, like, so the political talk will be us, Black men, Black disabled men talk, and there's a couple other podcasts that I will be trying to bring over there. And it's just, I mean, ain't nothing to it but to do it. You know what I mean? So we either rock out, or but we do 15 years into this, we 20 years into Crip Hop, bruh, and by hook or crook, we get it done. So this is a chance for us to, because at least we know that we don't have to ask anybody for anything. We can do it ourselves. So that's the big enchilada hanging over everything. But there's a bunch of other stuff underneath that that will hopefully, because I got 2 PhD candidates sitting on this screen, like, so, and they can't say that I don't know brilliant people. I'm like, I ain't got to say shit, talk to Lateef. I ain't got to say nothing, talk to Leroy. I just work here. So there you go.
Hey, you want to go with Lateef first?
What's up, Keith and Leroy? This is the first time hearing about the channel, but it sounds tight and I am all for it. And this should be amazing.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh my God. It's finally gonna happen. And Keith Jones been kicking ass. Crip Hop kicking ass. Soul touching experience, kicking ass.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're doing this. We're doing this. So that's one of the big things of 2022 is the channel. And it's called DA channel, right?
It's the CHNL, the channel. And then I've been playing with whether it's culture, history, news, and lifestyle, or you can switch out the channel. What it really is because Lateef, like, on some real stuff, like the stuff that we've been talking about, when we talk about how do we engage the Black community in the disability struggle, how do we get Indigenous people on this, like, it's really interesting how the stuff that we've done, people still are looking for reasons not to find commonality in order to move forward. Like, so it's maddening to me that as a father with daughters, I can't tell them about the women's rights movement or the women's rights movement or, equal justice or anything in terms of feminism or anything like that, when you literally have to talk about radical Black feminism, right? And even then, radical Black feminism is not necessarily inclusive of Black women with disabilities. So how, so as a parent, as a son of a single mother who dealt with that in the 50s and the 60s, how can I, and I have my daughters grows in the 2020s, 2030s, how can I give them at least one outlet that shows them what it's like to be a fully fledged and realized melanated woman wherever you are on the planet? Because you're Black in America. But if you're in but if you're in Africa, everybody black. So what are you? You know what I mean? So this is that, so this is that it's to be able to give, what is it like to be a person with a disability having an intimate relationship? What is it like having a relationship period? What is it like being able to negotiate business deals and have to deal with the fact that the people who think they're the masters of the universe are using their intellect to reduce your humanity solely because they're uncomfortable. So that's sort of like look, Leroy, Lateef, your boy, this dude right here. And when we were doing Black Future Month, what did I tell you? I said, look, I was like, listen, I'm doing this for a reason. We need to kill them all. No, we can't kill them all. We're doing this for a reason. And the end goal of doing that and doing the project and bringing Black Future Month to fruition and having it be successful and award-winning was to give birth to the channel so that we as Crip Hop Nation Soul Touching Experiences, the 500 people and plus that are directly connected to Crip Hop, that we have a place for art, culture, entertainment, news, lifestyle, where you can find the life that we actually live versus, oh my God, look at the little white boy with Down syndrome and he has all these things at his disposal. I'm Black in Chicago. I don't get that. So there you go.
So Lateef, what's happening for you in 2022?
And in this year, I am trying to write my dissertation, get my dissertation website in order and hopefully edit my novel. This year I am trying to write my dissertation, get my website in order, and hopefully edit my novel.
What? That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up.
Lateef is Superman.
So I get an autographed copy, right?
Hell yeah, we gotta get autographed copy. We'll put you.
Look, now I'll start the internet.
Yes.
Oh, yes, that's right. I was like, because if you don't, I'm gonna get on TikTok and be like, and he did me so dirty. You know that shit'll go viral. So I'm like,
You
that's so dope. That's what's up.
to get will get autograph copies of my novel definitely. Yes, you too will get autographed copies of my novel. Definitely.
That's enough. That's all I want to know. So when I look back, I'll be like, see, I know him. I know they do right there. That's what's up.
We have like a talk show on the channel about your book.
Yes, stop playing.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. We want all first run exclusive.
Exactly. First interview.
Like I told you, like I know him. That's what's up. So what's the deal, Leroy?
Okay, so the deal this year for myself is to, of course, get through my first year graduate school. Got a 4.0 last quarter.
That's what that. Woo! That's my dog. That's my dog.
So yeah, so to get through this quarter, and like a lot like Keith just keeps on keeping on with the channel. Hip hop is just blowing up. I mean, we're starting a new chapter in Kenya, Africa. I just had an interview with a deaf hip hop artist who wants to start a hip hop chapter in Kenya, Africa. So that's going down. Me and Keith are about to look at some properties, some land here in LA.
That's right.
I've been talking to the people in LA, churches and stuff like that. So that's coming. What else? What else for me? Of course, music under Soul Touching Experience. Queer pop is gonna be in 5 textbooks. That's incredible.
That's
5 textbooks this year.
That's so great.
Nuts, nuts, nuts.
That's so great.
That yeah, it's just going down. I've just been working on a couple of movies as consultants, as a consultant, so that's good. Yeah, just moving and shaking, that's all. That's all.
That's I think when you look back at how many of these have we done? We should know this really well.
I know we should know this right now.
We should know this right now. And see, Lateef, you the PhD guy. You supposed to have all your data, your research right in your head. But I mean, just thinking about it, like it's funny. I was when I did the thing and I saw what we were talking about. I kind of chuckled at it. I was like everybody on this thing is like you two are groundbreaking, like are earth-shattering greatness, which ironically is trailblazing in order for others to follow in behind you. And that to just be along for that ride is so fucking crazy to me. Like it's so dope that I get to sit there like I know that. I like Latina, you be popping on that. I'm like, I know that dude. I'm like, that's my dog right there. That's my dog right there. And then Leroy, I'm like, I know this. And then Otis, I'm just like, the excitement for what we are doing and specifically what you guys are doing is amazing. And I mean, I know we talk about a lot of the struggles and the issue, but the affirmation of your greatness is the fact that the shit y'all doing is just amazing. Like, it really is one of those things where, like, if you sit down and have a cup of coffee with somebody and they say, so, Lateef, what are you doing today? Well, other than writing a book and doing my dissertation, like there are 99.99% of the people on the planet that can't say what you just said. Like, that shit is so dope to me. And just to be around that kind of vibe is infectious. And it's crazy because I actually had a young kid jump on my Facebook and was like, thank you for your words, because what you do inspire me to keep going. And that's, it's rare that we get to stop and look back and say, what have we done? You know what I mean? So I'm just glad that I know people like y'all, because one, it makes it a whole lot less lonely dealing with crazy ass people in this journey. And two, just because we the shit. But it's my own opinion. So
Keith, you've been chairman, you've been running for president and doing soul touching experience for how many years?
we turned 25 in December, and the LLC turned 1 in December. So we turned 25 and 1 at the same time. That's great. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, Lateef, I saw you at the game, man. I ain't get an invite to a game yet. I'm not taking it personal. You see, I'm not taking it. I'm not taking it personal. But I was laughing. I was like, I want to go. But now it's like, dude, there's nothing that we can't do, or at least try to do that. And as long, it was funny because we come from a lineage of people like, but we on a plane where, like, most Black men or most people of color with disabilities don't ever get to where we are. And not because they don't want to be, but just because of the way, you know what I mean, the way society has us set up to fail. So I'm hoping that whatever little weird, world domination plot I have cooking, that, Lateef, when you get married, I'm still waiting for it. I swear, if I don't get no invitation, I will come to the house and I'm gonna just wait outside your door. Where's my invitation?
Yes. You will get an invitation. Yes, you will get an invitation.
Good. That's all I want to know. Because when people don't get an invite, that's when they get on Instagram and start sending like hate messages. I thought we was boys.
And Keith didn't tell you that Keith will be moving to LA.
Oh, yes. Right, fine. So, there's two things. So, Lateef, I will be in your area soon, working with Christina Ray Jackson, recording. So we're trying to put together a 6-episode Afrofuturistic sci-fi epic that is centered around persons with disabilities. And our disabilities are our superpowers. It's not cliche-ish. So it's not, how they do it, and they be like, I have a disability, and then they switch in, and all of a sudden, like, they don't really have a disability. They're like the disability disappears. And this is whatever adaptive equipment you have, whatever is your quote diagnosis, in the action sequences, those become your superpowers. So they're like neurodivergent, and you see and think differently. That's the way you fight. And if you're a person with cerebral palsy and you use crutches, they become your weapons of choice. If you use a wheelchair, your wheelchair becomes your battle armor. Right? So like your disability doesn't disappear. You just morph and merge with your tech to become that much more powerful. It's some crazy shit. I'm kind of excited. Like, this is gonna be some next level. Like, dude, Lateef, you know what? Your character is in you, and just dawned on me, yeah. Because there's one of the main characters is like he's called the case. He's the case manager. Because all the characters are based on like real disability tropes. So you have like the case manager, the caregiver, the technician, but all of those things are like they're heads of like entire departments. You would be the great case manager because the case manager runs the entire and his character arc, Lateef, is crazy. It's crazy. You would be perfect for that. You could be perfect for that. You'd be perfect for that. You'd be perfect for that. Because the case manager is that dude. Like, it's sort of so he the best way I can put it is like it would be our version of like Nick Fury / general / like he knows everything, runs everything, has like he got spies that his spies that his spies. Oh my God! Huh?
Cool.
Yeah, dog. And I'm gonna send you. It's called Bombshell Black and Mr. Jones. And so all the cases, here you go, because y'all are Black radicals. All of their cases are based on historic disenfranchisement. So like one episode is based on, it's called like the Great Migration, but it's based upon the decimation of indigenous people while replacing them with slaves. Yes, yeah, we on some, but it's all done in this sci-fi Afrofuturistic it's half live action, half anime.
I am down. Okay,
Yes.
cool. I am down.
Yes, that's all I needed to know, bro. I got you. I got you. I'm gonna send you the matter of fact, the Leroy, didn't you put it out? Leroy had tweeted it out. So I'm gonna send you the little that we got written up for. But that's like the big fish that I got on the back of the hook. And then when y'all are like geniuses and like running your own universities, I'll come with my coverage. Can I get $5?
You don't know, kid. After we get that Quip House Institute, I'm done. I'm done. I'm done.
But Leroy, there's so much more.
We have to write that book on Black ableism. No, we have to write that book on Black ableism.
Yeah, we do.
Hell yeah, you do.
Yeah, we
And
do.
Lateef, if you call me. If you flakes on you, you call me. I'm a kneecap. I'm push him into your house so he can work. Y'all go right there. Bruh, we literally had that discussion and they were like, oh my God. How did they ask you? So, Mr. Jones, you've been involved in many social justice issues. So, what is it like to talk about ableism in the Black community? Oh, my face.
For decades.
You talking about today or last week? Are you talking about when we go to church? Which one are you talking about? I just want to know, because like if we go to church, it's like, oh, Hello, Brother Malcolm. Hello, Brother Keith. Why don't y'all sit down here? Wait, what did they used to say? When I was a kid, they would have Jimmy Swaggart come and he would pitch a tent in the park and they would have revivals. And they would, because remember they had all the wheelchairs in the front row and they would bring you up and smack you on the forehead and say you're healed. You don't remember that? Go watch old Jimmy Swaggart, and it was Jimmy Swaggart, Oral Roberts, and Jerry Falwell, and Pat Roberts and Jimmy Timmy Faye Baker. How did you not remember the years of the Mega Pastor? There was all that's when you had the PTL Club, Praise the Lord channel. You had the 700 Club.
Oh, the 700 Club, yeah.
Yeah, you know, remember all that craziness, and they're like, and there's somebody in the audience right now that has cerebral palsy. Jesus is removing that affliction from your body right now.
Right now.
Now, all you have to do is pick up the phone and pledge your $100 a month. And Jesus will move that cerebral palsy out of your body.
My God. That's what it's in the telethon.
Look, as I hang my head in shame. Because I did the Easter Seals telethon and the United Cerebral Palsy telethon.
Ah! He's on the telethon, kid.
See,
And Leroy, Keith and Leroy,
yes.
do you watch CNN? Keith and Leroy, do you watch CNN?
I do. It depends. Now I watch I used to watch reliable sources, and I used to watch it, but CNN is real. After that Chris Cuomo nonsense, I was like,
Yeah.
Because you see the shiners.
I'm back. Hold on.
Yeah.
Shiners.
Yes.
Commercials. Do you think those are the new version of the telethon? Because you see the Shriners commercials, do you think those are the new version of the telethon?
Yes. I mean, I'm back. I'm sorry.
Oh, really? If you want to be truthful on it, freaking Kevin Hart took over Jerry Lewis telethon. I was like, come on, black man. I know we have to work, but come on.
Yeah. It's interesting you asked that question because you know that one of the issues we've been having is when we want to raise awareness, that people raise it around pity. Like, you know, like the trying to they have the kid. Like, so you talk about the one with the kid when he's like, hi, I'm so and so, and I've been a jerk. And then he has a smaller version of himself, right? He's like, yeah, that one, yeah, I know, bro. Like, because okay, so when you at, because like you thinking, like you watching the commercial, like, okay, do you have to make it like it's such a pitiful thing, right? As opposed to saying, or is it them and oh wait, here you go, Lateef. The St. Jude commercial with the black couple, where he says that he was taught that give every month, and that one too. Oh my! I guess the goal of an advertisement is to emotionally connect you to the product, right? So for that, I guess it's effective. But as a person with a disability watching that shit, fuck y'all. Like, do you need to play on how pitiful? Because you literally are saying my life is pitiful, and without these things, you know what I mean? If you don't help us go here, then our life is going to be shit. I don't, you know. I mean, I've done the telethons. Like, I've been the kid on the stage where they were like, and Keith, you went to our special needs camp. How was it for you? Or, you know, or being at United Cerebral Palsy telethons or Easter Seals or United Way. But all of those, I guess, were predicated upon not what we're doing here, which is Lateef being a PhD, you know, dissertation writer, Leroy being a PhD candidate, me being an entrepreneur, you know, us, you like I'm on this thing with like actual authors, novelists, you know, movers and shakers in the community. That's not what you're going to see in the Shriners commercial.
Of course, because this is freaking telethon. They want to pull your heartstrings, make you fall on stage.
It is
I almost got my cup.
classic.
Yeah. So what do you think, Lateef? Because because when you see it and when you do it, like when you watch it or you watching it, I mean, do you take? So for me, when I see it, my first reaction is visceral, but then I have to back up and then I become analytical about it. Like when you see those things, does it grab? Like, do you instantly be like, these mother? Or do you like, or do you stand back and be like, okay, let me be, you know, the intellectual, brilliant man that I am, to not blow this TV up because crazy people on my shit. Like, because it makes me crazy.
Inspiration porn and it watching it is like hearing claws on a chalkboard and I only watch it when my attendant turns it on. So thankfully, I don't see it all the time. It is classic inspiration porn, and watching it is like hearing claws on a chalkboard. And I only watch it when my attendant turns it on, so thankfully I don't see it all the time.
Oh, hallelujah, praise Jesus. That's probably the best analogy that I've heard. It is like nails on the chalkboard, because it's the sticky and high. If I didn't get here, I wouldn't have. And I'm like, fuck. I'm old and black and disabled, and I came from the city where they was like, we're gonna kill you or put you in prison. Like, so yeah, I mean, it would be nice to see. Like, you shouldn't have to turn on the Shriners commercials and be compelled because you feel pity. Like you shouldn't be compelled to want to donate to St. Jude's because you feel pity. Compassion and pity are not analogous.
Well, come on, let's be the real. The Jerry Lewis Teledown has been sold, pimped, and played, and it's all over the place. And freaking hip hop do it all the time. They do charities for people with disabilities. They give out wheelchairs. They do it. It's all the time. It's 2022. We're still doing pity charity on TV. That's why we had the channel, right?
And that's why we have the channel, because it you know, I mean, I guess if you're doing like if you're doing information warfare, we would be considered counter programming.
Yeah.
If you consider it, you know, we're doing social justice work, like we're doing the counter narrative, and it's not really even a counter narrative; it's just a real fucking narrative.
Yeah.
Like I'm talking to y'all ain't gonna get off the phone and go, please, sir, may I have my life, sir? Like, that's not what, like, you gonna go be Lateef and just go be great and go about your fucking business. Leroy gonna go be Leroy, be great, be going about his fucking business. Do you have things in your life that may need to be done in different kind of ways? Absolutely. But what is the distinction between the needs that you have in your life than somebody else who doesn't have the diagnosis? The problem is we've been stuck in this place where they're like, oh my God, you're so amazing despite your disability. I'm like, wait.
Check that in disability. This country is gonna put Maya Angelou on the quarter, and on the back side of the quarter is gonna be George Washington. What?
Yes, brother. Let us all just take a moment and discuss the fact that we are all sitting here on this Zoom call, and in our lifetime, we have seen terrorist attacks and insurrections. And both of one was ultimately successful, and the other one is semi-successful. And at the end of this, we will be off of this call, and unless we're multimillionaires, you're still going to have to go get Medicaid approval for your durable medical device. You're still going to have to say, if I make over X amount of dollars in a month, my benefits are going to get cut. Like, I used to go to the meetings. I'd be like, look, fuck y'all, because y'all give us just enough to have nothing and not enough to have something.
Yeah.
And then you're mad when we say we don't want you to give it to us, just get out of the way so we can get it ourselves. But then they put in, well, I was on your social media page and you said you love women with big breasts. We find it offensive, so we're not going to hire you. Or, hey, you said something about the state of Israel and we don't promote it. Or, hey, you're against white America. Like, the fact that people use their intelligence in order to figure out ways to screw you over is something that I don't think most Americans or most of the humans on this planet have figured out. Like, let me just say this and shut up. But I've never understood how a dictator rules by fiat. You can only do that if you have people who are complicit in that process. And the people who are complicit in that process have made the cost benefit analysis that it is more beneficial to me personally to support this dictator by fiat than it is to not support the dictator and have the entire community benefit from good governance. And we are living that right now with your boy, like, what's his name? Chicken, Joe Manchin. And his sidekick DJ Chicken, Kristen Silverbrand, like, or whatever the hell their names is. Because how are you saying I don't want to remove the 60 vote threshold in order for people to have the right to vote? Because I need to have a moral stance. Bruh. Like, at this stage of the game, between what we're doing and what you guys are doing and what we want for the community, like when we talking about what do we want for the community, actually what I want for the community is for the community to be able to not have to stress about clean water, clean air, good schools, good housing, a functional transportation system, an environment that is going in the reverse, so it's towards sustainability other than the elimination of our species. The fact of the matter is this: the majority of crises facing humans are human-made. And so but that's why we have done this talk show for what? God, how long have we been doing this? Like 3 years?
I think 3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, and you know what, somebody was like, oh my God, I saw you guys on YouTube. You guys are amazing. And I'm thinking, okay, because there's no Black men talking like this.
No. And nobody wants to touch it. Nobody wants to touch it. I was on, Black Media Project. They call themselves radical. They don't want to touch it. Yeah, they'll have me on for an episode, but they don't want to. Yeah, okay, Black men talk. Let's do you monthly. And I'm glad they hadn't touched it, because now we can just go on to the channel and do our own stuff.
That, my brother, is why whenever you hear
didn't Black power
Why?
media want the four of us on. Why didn't Black Power Media want the four of us on?
You know why? Was it? They're not gonna say it, but you know why? Because it is not pretty. Even Black radicals want pretty stuff. And matter of fact, when I told them, because when I was on their program, I told him that you guys need to make captions, so deaf and other people can enjoy it. He said, well, that's too much work to make it accessible. I was like, okay, that's one reason that we can't be a part of your Black Power media. If you can't make yourself accessible, and they said, well, YouTube does it. It's like YouTube catches any other word. What the hell? So that right there, I was like, okay, I'm glad you said Leroy come on, but I'm also glad that you made your colors known, so we could just be our independent self like we always do. But yeah, that's coming from Black radicals. Oh no, that's too much work.
But one time I think we had talked about that, but it's interesting because I had the conversation with my mama, who was like, no shit. It's interesting talking to older Black people who are the generation of the bus boycott, the March on Selma, the push for voting rights and civil rights legislation, the watching of your leaders being massacred, and the Medgar Evers, the Martin Luther Kings, the Malcolm X's, the students of like all of these people, and the countless nameless people who were murdered, who didn't get put in the history books. It's interesting to watch that generation talk about it, and to hear how we are talking about the future of what we want for our community, and the fact that anybody who deems them a social justice advocate or radical, is I have to convince you to see my oppression as equal to yours, and that our struggle is the same struggle, and that I can help you in yours and you can help me in mine. And if that is a source of conflict, then what the fuck are you doing? Because you're not here for social justice. What you hear is for, oh my God, like the most obvious one is the women's rights movement, and the fact that there's a clear delineation between white women and women of color, right? Or you're talking about Black Lives Matter, and there's clear delineation between Black Lives Matter and us. like Black Lives Matter up until Lateef shows up in the wheelchair, Leroy got his cane, and Keith started stumbling with his crippled ass walking up the steps. Like all of a sudden we ain't Black enough, right? Or if you talk about Black Lives Matter, and then you do get your celebrity victim, where everybody gathers around and starts wearing hashtags and T-shirts that their disability or their human condition is omitted. It is kind of funny because it goes back to the question you asked Lateef about the commercials. With those things, it's kind of like it's frustrating to me that those people who are intentional places who say my intention is to seek social justice. My intention is to work with migrants, LGBTQ, people, blah 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 blah. But they don't go the full Monty. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yes, I'm equal. I'm here for marriage equality, except for gay people. Well, then you're not really here for marriage equality. Like, I want full education, except I don't want disabled kids in my son's classroom. Yes, I think we all should have this insurance. I just don't think, we should have universal health care. Like, half-assing your social justice. I'm so tired. That's why I retired from the game. That's why it's, I growing up in the era when what was it called? It was everybody calls it now. What do they call it? DEI. Come on, Lateef and Leroy. Let's go diversity, equity, and inclusion work.
No.
And then you show up in your wheelchair, like Lateef. I would love to be at one of your presentations when they have no fucking idea what's about to happen. I need to go because I'm pretty sure they like, and we're gonna have Lateef, and we're gonna have Leroy, and we're gonna do this, and then we show up, communications access, physical access, programmatic access, and then they look like, shit, these Negroes is disabled. God damn it. That means we have to deal with disability. So wait, so I'm not black no more? like I'm not black no more because I'm in a wheelchair. Like, you know, that's Leroy. That's like when we had the discussion about getting older and having a disability. Like when you get 65, you're not disabled no more. You're old.
Yeah.
Like, no, it's this weird. Like I don't know. But I think what you guys are doing and what we have planned, what we're hoping for, and not even what we're hoping for, that the fact that I'm on this thing with people who are actually moving the needle and not doing it in a selfish manner, but in a fully inclusive and appropriate manner, even though it has a particular lens on it. It's a lens through being a black male with a disability, but the vision is all encompassing of humanity. That is an amazing, amazing thing to be a part of when I'm sitting here on these things with y'all, which is why anytime I hear people talk crazy shit, I'm like, bruh, I'm rolling with super, like, I feel like I'm part of the Avengers, dude. Like, cause you guys are the shit. And it's not like Lateef really is anybody gonna debate you and think that they're gonna win? Look, and if they do, please invite me so I can sit and watch the beatdown. I just want to be there for the beatdown. Like that's all. I just want to be there for the beatdown. Like, that's all.
That's all.
I am sure people will try and lose. I am sure people will try and lose.
Bruh, listen, I'm telling you, the reason I'm giggling is because I know the kind of sledgehammer you sling. I know the sledgehammer Leroy, I know the sledgehammer Otis sling. I know it, and what's so funny about it is that we are literally having an intellectual discussion with other people who claim to be intellectual, except for the fact that they are not smart enough to recognize and to counteract their own personal bias. Right? Like they want, like, you know, it's like, oh no, I love science and I'm a brilliant scientist. I'm just going to be a misogynist while I'm being a brilliant scientist. Then you're not brilliant. What you are is knowledgeable about a particular subject. Right? If you're brilliant, you'll be able to say, I got information now that indicates that females who brought me on this earth are worthy of being treated as I am worthy of being treated. Which is still kind of a bullshit stance because the assumption about power dynamics and giving somebody the ability to have value in their life is bullshit. But
yeah,
you would think that, like, that's why Leroy, when they be talking, I'll be like, man, listen, I don't want to, I'm just saying this, I'm shit the hell up. Otis was on here and we was talking, but the last time, Lateef, I did this thing with educators, and the principals were like, oh my God, it's amazing. And thank you so much for telling us about your experiences and I'm thinking, you went to school to be an educator. You get up every day, wash your ass, put on some clothes, and go to a building in order to educate. And yet and still, with all of your educational experience and all of your vastness and all of your power, you still are watching young people walk through your building, and you are making determinations on the access to information based on their human condition. That doesn't indicate to me that you're intelligent or that you should be in charge of education. Oh yes, I love education. I just don't think LGBTQ students should be able to be you shouldn't be a teacher. I love education, but I don't think children with disabilities should be in regular education classes. Then you shouldn't be a teacher. I don't think girls or boys should be smart. Then you shouldn't be a teacher. Or actually, if you want to be a teacher, take your ass to private school. Don't bring you to public school. Set up a what is it? Dr. Umar Johnson that set up his school?
Well, I'm very keen. That man is still talking about that. It's been what 5-7 years. We won Emmys. We doing the channel. We about to get land here, and he's still talking about the same thing.
Well, that's why.
And you know what? People donate.
Well, remember. So, if you think about it, so if you remember when Jimmy Carter lost in '70 at the election of the '80s, right? And when Ronald Reagan gave his inauguration speech, 3 weeks later he gave the State of the Union speech, in which they were talking. Bob Dole and the rest of them were talking about the moral majority. And that there was a moral compass that America needed to adhere to. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, you need the moral majority that firebombed every church that didn't have white people in it. You need the moral majority. You need the moral majority that is mad that Roe v. Wade exists. So you started the Heritage Foundation and all of these other foundations in order to push a conservative agenda so I'm gonna tell you what I call the GOP. The GOP is a political terrorist organization, and they have been on a 40-year Christian conservative jihad. Am I lying?
No.
How long have they worked to tilt the court to be conservative? How many times have they given you, hard-boiled legislation that needs to be rubber stamped across every state? Why are we having a discussion about Joe Manchin and Christian Gillibrand and the fecklessness of Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer to ensure voting rights? None of it. They remember in the 90s they had Contract with America?
Yeah.
Like
New Gingrich. I remember that. I read the book.
And the fact that Nancy Pelosi, like all of these people, when Clyburn and Clyburn when Hillary was running was like, I'm not going to endorse anybody until the South Carolina primary. Then he saw his people lose and was like, wait a minute. Like the reason Obama was the choice was because they were doing horse trading behind the scenes. Like, and so now here we are in 2022, and people are like, oh, we need to shame these people, and we need to have them stand up on the floor and tell us that they're not going to vote for voting rights. The fuck out of here. Have you ever seen a hostage negotiate their own release? I'm waiting. Because it didn't work in Iran, it didn't work in Afghanistan, it still didn't work in Philadelphia, but it bombed the entire neighborhood. Like, come on. And Move didn't even have hostages, they just were black.
They have no shame.
None.
Say it again, bro. Say it again. Say it again.
None.
Yeah.
And we're happy because my Angelo is on a quarter.
So, question, Lateef, how many Martin Luther King quotes are you going to post tomorrow? So you know you're going to get like, how many you going to see on your screen? We shall overcome just like the content of your game. You know you're going to get the greatest hits. And then it'll be Tuesday. and Omicron. So, but I think, you know, even with all of that, just to be conscious of time, I just want to say, look, for the record, thank you all again for being amazing Black men, being amazing trailblazers. It is one thing to walk this road and hope that when you get a call, when you call, you'll get a response. There's another thing to know that when you call, you'll get a response. And so thank you for being the Black men that you are.
Yeah, thank you, dude. Thank you.
You with that.
Keith and Leroy for being dope. Trailblazers for me to follow. Thank you, Keith and Leroy, for being dope trailblazers for me to follow.
I am so proud because I can look back, I can look to my right and my left and be like, here you go. Because now that you look, now that you got the torch, I get to go sit on the beach and get drunk.
That was his channel. That was his channel.
Ignore him, Lateef. He's talking. But I love you all. I will see you on the next channel. Or listen, so the next time we talk, baby, Lateef, yo, they gonna be like, if they ask you, like, you have to give the fake white girl hair flip. Sorry, I have my own show on my own network.
Like, it's not Oprah.
I'm gonna give me an Afro wig with a black power face and be like, but you guys were amazing. Thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to the next show.
All right. Lateef, thank you for hosting this. And yeah, send me the video so I can get it captured.
Cool.
All right. Peace, people.
All right. Peace. And I'm going to a game with you, Lateef. Me and you gonna go.